Did you know South Korea emerged from the ravages of war and poverty to become an economic powerhouse that it is today? In the early 1960s, South Korea's per capita income was less than that of Haiti and Ethiopia. Over 50% of its citizens were poor and illiterate, but this was all about to change soon. Present day South Korea is now the 10th biggest global economy, and the UN recently declared it as a developed nation. But how did this epic transformation, often known as the Miracle on Han River, actually take place? Let's take you back in history to the story of how South Korea transformed itself. The Korean War 1950 to 53 started when Soviet Russia backed communist North Korea invaded US backed South Korea. This fight ended without a peace treaty being signed, and years later, Brigadier General turned President Park Chung-hee seized power in South Korea in a military coup in 1961. He was a strict ruler who curbed the press and civilian freedom. But South Korea's economic expansion began with him. His government controlled Korea's banks, promoted import of raw materials and technology, and encouraged foreign investment and savings. Soon, investment in heavy industries followed, and firms were even given export targets. Adding to that, decades after the war, US invested $35 billion in South Korea as foreign aid. South Korea splurged this money on education and research. Manufacturing also took up a greater share in GDP, whereas agriculture, once a mainstay, shrank from 45% to 14% of the GDP in between 1954 to 86. A well-timed internet policy and easy entry of private companies allowed 100% of Koreans to now be connected to the web. Today, South Korea is among the world's top exporting nations, and its exports as a percentage of its total annual output increased from 25% in 1995 to 56% in 2012. But not all have been rainbows and butterflies. South Korea has seen tough times too. In 1997, heavy borrowing created a huge crisis, forcing them to take a $58 billion loan. Limited resources, aging population, and Chinese competition are still some issues the nation continues to face. But its evolution is still one of the biggest success stories of the 20th century. For more, download the Noel.